before we jump into the controversy stuff that Trish was talking about, I saw something the other day. We talking about black finance, right?
Yeah.
What you call them? One of them. What you call it? A meme? One of the memes.
Yeah.
And it was like a story, or one of those supposed to be empowering meme kind of things. And the gist of it was, apparently this young lady said that Chanel was her favorite handbag company, and she had $200,000 worth of Chanel purses and bags, and somehow she was enlightened and decided to sell this collection and use the money to buy a income producing property.
Oh, I know who you talking about, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know who the person is.
Oh, it was a meme. Okay, I think I know the real person that did that though. But okay.
Okay. Well, I think the lesson, or I guess what the message was supposed to be from that is, investing in real estate is, or income producing assets are better than others. But I was just kind of confused as to how somebody would, what are you doing with your money if you have $200,000 worth of handbags and need to sell
it in handbags, bro?
I need to sell it to get money to, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I mean, I could easily see how you could have $200,000 worth of Chanel bags.
Trish, are you that meme? Hold on, wait.
I am not that meme, because Daniel will tell you, like, even when it comes to cars, like, I don't even want to have, like, I feel like in order for me to have certain luxuries, I need to be right with myself in terms of my goals. But I also don't subscribe to like that struggle entrepreneurial vision that people like to put out there. Like, I don't think we work this hard to struggle. Does it require sacrifice? Yes, but nothing about my life is going to be struggle.
Well, I don't. I'm with you. I don't necessarily think you have to struggle per se. I don't necessarily think you have to go to that extreme. But there's another extreme as well in terms of, I'm starting to notice. This is why I don't know about this social media thing. I think it's like the gift and the curse. It's like, for you to connect with people, but it paints such a false sense of reality for a lot of people. And I can see how, like the concern for the younger generation, how it can shape their confidence levels and their self-esteem. Because you go in there and you see all of this, but if you know a lot of that is not real, but they don't seem to know that this is not real life. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it forces people, like you said, to look down on themselves. Like this one lady, she was posting on Twitter. She was like, "Hey, y'all, I just commissioned my first client or artwork," and it was like, but it's only like 5,000 or 5 figures. And I was like, only, like, y'all saying only for, like, that's not a major accomplishment. Like, when did we just get to a point where we can't even celebrate like beginnings? Like, that's not even good,
Yeah, I think as we go through this, as we have these talks, the reason why I brought that up is because we talked about from good to great and what success is, and I'm starting to realize that so many people tend to think success is based on how you look or how you move and operate. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I don't think that that's the case at all. Like you said, to your point, Trish, I don't necessarily think that it has to be the other extreme where you're driving around in a 97 Toyota Corolla, for example.
You should have said Corolla, because them things be on the road for decades.
Yeah. I'm not saying it has to be that extreme. I'm not saying it has to be that extreme, but clearly you don't make, if you have a good year and you make, if you have your breakout year and you make $400,000, you probably shouldn't go buy a Rolls Royce. Like, you can't afford that. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not for you. Like, how can you buy a $250,000-$300,000 car after making $400,000? I mean, obviously I know you're not putting the whole cash down, but now you're working the next year just to maintain this lifestyle. It seems pointless.
Yeah.
So that's what I took from the meme. Like, why on earth would you have a $200,000 handbag collection if $200,000 is not just something that's accessible to you at the drop of a hat? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if you got $200,000 worth of purses in your closet, then you probably should have $200,000 in your account that you could draw for. That's just my thoughts on it. So.
Yeah, I definitely understand how you would have 200K of Chanel bags, but
Right.
but I will also have enough money to take 200,000. If I got 200,000 in Chanel bags, I got like triple that for me to be able to feel comfortable about having, that kind of asset. Like I'm even like that with myself. I beat myself up because you work so hard and you feel like everything needs to go into the business. But if you just work into feed a business and you're not giving nothing to yourself, like who are you in business for, really?
I think that's a great. Yeah, no, I think that's a great point. I mean, it's all about budgeting, right? Like, if you have a budget, no matter what that budget is, like your budget could be Jay-Z's budget, obviously, versus my budget, right? I mean, it's two different budgets, but it's still a budget. Yeah. As long as you know what's coming in versus what's going out, I think that's what's most important. So if you have, if you making $1 million, but you got 2 million going out every year, really doesn't matter.
Doesn't make sense. Right? Yeah. Doesn't make sense. But you see, it's money management though, because you could be making $1 million and you could be living check to check.
Absolutely.
And yes. Somebody that's making 50,000, but they're living they're balancing their money a certain way, and they're able to put away 10 grand a year.
Yep.
So
right. Yeah, I read that book. Is it The Automatic Millionaire or The Millionaire Next Door? One of those two. And they talk about like how everyday people are able to accumulate millionaire status. Like they're usually the first in their families to do it. And they do it, like you said, like I make $50,000 a year, but I find a way to save $10,000 a year. And then we're able to put that into our Roth IRA, or we're able to put that into a different, investment tool. And you become a millionaire. It's not fast and luxurious money like people like to portray on the media, it's not like fast money. It's not Instagram money, but it's, to know that you're going to be in a solid place. You're going to have a couple millions in your pocket when you retire. I think that that's equally valuable as well, but that doesn't get highlighted,
All right. So
I think that's an amazing point. Go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Jess. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Trish, that's an amazing point. That's something that I preach to a lot of my clients is retirement saving, like saving for that time when you decide to stop working and you want to just live. Like that's important. It's key and it's something I think that, many don't think about that time after you stop working.
But you see what you guys just said. The key thing in what Trish just said was have a couple million in your account when you're retired. I think a lot of people right now are driven by having a couple million in their account right now so that they can go blow it on the things to show people that they have. If I have $1 million in my account, I don't want anybody to know I have $1 million in my account. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
No interest in letting people know I have $1 million. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
Right.
But then again, the question is like, when you small, like we talked about this before, when you small and you growing up and you hear somebody make 6 figures, that's a huge deal. Like what? Somebody making 100,000 plus, they're rich. That's not rich. You got so many people that might be making 6 figures depending on where you live, like on the West Coast, that's struggling, right?
Yeah.
So you got people making 6 figures here in Atlanta that you can't really do as much as you think you could do with 6 figures based on whatever else you have going on. But my assumption
is loan debt and all of that.
Yeah, my assumption is like $1 million sounds like a lot, but in reality, like if we were to actually get our hands on $1 million tomorrow, we probably realize $1 million is really not no money. You know what I'm saying? In terms of what you think you want to do, or you can't, if you get $1 million, if all of us got $1 million a day a piece, everyone would have to get up and go work tomorrow because that's not enough money to retire on right now.
Oh yeah, you can't retire on $1 million, but you also, like Jess said, you also have to be thinking about what does your style of life look like right now and what numbers will you need. It could be that your magic number is 2.5 million, depending on where your homes are at that time. If you've paid off all of your student loan debt, if you've paid off your homes or you're projected to pay off your home, like 2 million looks different in your 60s if you've set up yourself correctly versus 2 million right now in your 30s and you don't have no money management skill. Like those are two different millions. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Anyway, and not to go off.
This is good. We got an extra clip right here. So this right here was a free clip. So that's perfect.
Yeah, when I saw that, it just reminded me why sometimes I can't stand social media, because it sends the wrong message. It's almost like what they call it. It's almost like you're trying to brag on the Chanel collection in the first place, and then try and
like a humble brag.
Yeah, and then trying to hold yourself out to be like some kind of enlightened person. But like the reality of the situation is, if you saw an investment property, if you actually sold $200,000 worth of purses and took $200,000 and put into that property, it was a foolish move in the first place. Like you should have put the bare minimum cash into that property, kept yourself liquid, and probably picked up 2 properties instead of just the one. You understand? Like you gotta leverage that money. Like with interest rates now, like it would make no sense for you to own that property outright. Like what's the point? It's no benefit to
especially when interest rates are like 2.something%.
Yeah, come on. Take the interest. Worst case scenario, bank gotta eat that. Maybe your credit might be shot, but you have some cash. But
I always think about like, what is your exit plan? And I think that's something that we as like entrepreneurs and business people have to think about, you know, like the same way y'all president. We're going to talk about that too, I guess.
Oh yeah, we need just input on that.
Yeah, we got to talk to you about that. But the same way that other people are able to escape, I feel like sometimes we don't have an escape plan. Let's say you are a Black business owner and you are struggling. You can't break ground. You can't do anything. Like, what is your plan at this point? Do you continue to go in the negative because you want to keep an image of this business that is not helping you, or do you say, okay, let me cut it? Because I have an exit plan. You know, like if worst case scenario, if I got to sell off the other homes or sell off this home and pay the other ones just so I can have a roof over my head, like there's always like a plan B and C for me. And I don't know if it's just I've always been scared because of the way that I grew up. Like I've always felt the need to have an emergency exit plan. Like I need to know where all the doors are at all times. Like what's the worst case scenario that can happen to me?
Mine is to go back to Jamaica.
I knew it.
I think we kind of all have that.
I don't
getaway card.
Student loans can't follow me there. I'm going
over you.
Well, you better be careful. They extradited Dutta, so if they can get Dutta, they can get you.
They care more about the drugs. They'll never get back that student loan money.
Over you.
Edit that part out, please.
I'm not. We're going to just move on because I can't even use that.
One key point that I think another part of that takeaway is taking that money and investing it into something that actually provides revenue for you. And I think a lot of the times, part of our exit strategy should be some type of component of having some type of passive income. Money that you don't have to go out there and work for, money that comes back to you some way, whether that's setting up some type of, you know, a trust or something like that, to where at a certain period of time, you know, I don't have to touch this money, but it will come back to me at some point. You know, something like I think, for example, a good, like Allen Iverson, he spoke about
that was nice.
About how he went broke, but he had somebody in his corner that was realizing he had bad money management skills when he was playing, and put away an egg for him that when he did retire and then he was like, damn, I'm broke. But then that passive income that he had put away from before was there to kind of cushion him, and so that he wasn't living, you know, technically broke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think
But the question is, if he hasn't learned any money management skills between now and then what's the point? Because he's gonna just go broke again.
That's true, but I think the way how certain trusts Go ahead. I think like certain trusts, like certain annuities are set up so that they don't give you the money all one lump sum. It's like you're receiving it's like pretty much the same thing like a pension, but you're just receiving a small amount on a per month basis. Now, if he continues to mess up, then, you know, at some point you do have to take some responsibility and accountability for your own actions and realize, you know, I am not doing something right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you would hope in a perfect scenario that a person will pick up those types of skills eventually. Some people don't.
Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom sometimes. Like I think I don't know about y'all, but I could definitely remember the first time I touched money, like real money, and the things that I did with that money, I'm not so proud of. You know what I mean? Like I blew it on things that I don't even like remember to this day. You know what I mean?
Where they are, yeah.
Like I can't account for big like I have gaps in my memory in terms of what I did with that money and what I would have done differently had I had the mindset I have now. Like where would I have been in a place financially? I know we can't live in the past because I think those all taught me lessons. I think I probably wouldn't be who I am today if I didn't make those financial failures. Like I needed those for me to be like, this is serious. Like you need to be on your stuff if you're gonna, if you're gonna be different, if you're gonna have a different trajectory than what's expected of you. So it sometimes helps if you do, you have a hard landing.
Oh, I definitely agree because there's a saying. They say that a smooth sea makes a shitty sailor. A smooth, and because if you've never been through the rough waves, if you've never been through the bad weather, if you've never failed, what can you really learn? Yeah. You have to fail. You have to hit that rock bottom sometimes. You have to realize the consequences of making a bad decision so that you can feel the weight of what a correct decision looks like. You know what I mean? So I think that's not really anything to kind of live in the past about. But like you were saying, it makes you a better, whatever craft that you're in, it makes you better going forward in the future.
Listen, that sounds good, but most people hit rock bottom and don't recover. It sounds good. It sounds like a nice story, but most people hit rock bottom and don't recover. The reality of the situation is we live in a, what's the word? And my mind just went blank on me. But the United States is a culture of money.
Capitalistic.
Thanks, Jeff. We live in a capitalistic society. Everything is about money in this country, right? That's the bottom line. Now, America as a country is in debt. You understand what I'm saying? But that's how the system is set up. That's how the system is designed. So this could even trickle into the whole discussion about Trump and him being in debt. But that's really how the system is designed. It's not really designed for you to, I think we were talking the other day about Jeff Bezos. He doesn't have $200 billion or whatever his worth is in cash.
Yeah.
I don't know how much he actually has in liquid cash in his bank account, but it would probably be a small fraction of that. But you see, the thing about the US is it has to create a large portion of citizens that are dependent on the system in some shape, form, or fashion. Like the US needs us to get up every day to go generate money so we can continue to pay into the system. So that's why in every industry that you look in, if you're looking in the tax industry, if you're looking, whether it's barbershops or consulting or in the real estate industry, it's a pyramid. It could be 1,000 people in that business. There's only a small portion at the top, and the vast majority make up the bottom. The vast majority of those people that have attempted and it didn't work out, or it's not working out, and they rest at the bottom to hold the rest up. And that's every single industry in the United States.
Yes,
true. We just talk about the US, but that's every single industry. So I'm being devil's advocate to your point, Chris, because it sounds good that we have to learn from our failures. This as an afford, but how many people that you may pass on the street that are currently homeless that they're there because they tried something and it didn't pan out.
Which is true, but I don't know the statistics on this, but I'm not too sure how much of those things they tried were great business ideas. And some of these people have mental health issues. Some of these people have...
Oh yeah, no, we're not talking about that.
Don't focus on that. That was just
getting into the weeds.
That was a throwaway. That was just a throwaway comment.
Gotcha. All right. So with that point. Yeah. But I guess you kind of have to have that mindset to kind of do what we're trying to do, though. You have to have that mindset of, I'm going to start from the bottom to reach somewhere, to reach the top. Because every time you go into an entrepreneurial endeavor, you're literally starting from scratch in most times.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of the territory where we are in. And of course, some people, they do not recover. But again, if being an entrepreneur was easy, everybody would do it. That's kind of some of the risk that we do take on our head.
But we have to be afraid. We have to be afraid of that pull myself up from my bootstrap mentality. It drives me mad because as Cake and Jamaican stated, this is the system. You can't outwork this system. So I don't care how good you are. Let's say y'all at doing taxes at me, DE and I work, Cake and Jamaican at selling property. There is this pyramid. Everybody, I don't care how hard you try, everybody at the bottom is not gonna work hard. It's not gonna, even if they work hard, is not gonna make it to the top. So we can't say that they're not working hard enough. No, we gotta attack the system. It's not every person ain't trying hard enough and that's why their business fail. I don't think most people will go into a business. Now, do we have people that lack business acumen and they just can't get it together? Sure. But you can't say because somebody failed that they lacked the energy, or they lack what it took to pull themselves up by their bootstrap. Like that is just like one of those American fables.
Yeah, listen, the reality of the situation, just to go back to what you just said, Chris, I don't know the statistics, and I'm making an assumption right now, but I would probably guess that the vast majority of the 1% have their wealth, and a lot of their wealth has been passed down from the generation before.
Oh yeah, so I mean that's a fact. That's a fact.
This reality, this idea that America is the land of opportunity, and you can.
They tell you that so you can keep working.
Right. They tell you that. But you see, like, is it India that has the caste system? And essentially, if I'm remembering correctly, 5 tiers, and if you're born in the 5th tier, like that's it. You live and die in the 5th tier.
That's the American system too. A few people make it and they look down. They look down on the others that didn't make it because they say, "Well, I made it. You weren't working hard enough. I wanted it better. More than you." Like no,
it's the same system in the United States. There's just this belief. We just have this belief that we can go from one level to the next. 99% of people don't do it.
Yes.
It's not what it is. If you start a business right now, and depending on what that business is, if you want to ship goods to people's doors, you might as well give up because you're not touching Amazon. You're not
no, Daniel, you didn't work hard enough. No, I'm gonna make it because I got the drive, I got the energy. Forget this billionaire that's monopolized all industries that it takes to run Amazon, not just the actual product consumption.
Exactly.
But
even if you do get to the point where you can build it up slightly, where you start making a little bit of noise and you gain like 0.5% of the marketplace, Amazon will just come buy you out.
Yes.
One of the two. I'm not saying all that to say you don't try, you don't make
it. But let's just be real.
These discussions, we gotta be realistic. Like most of us were born into families that aren't millionaire families. We are going to die in families that aren't millionaire families. So,
and you can't blame the people that are dying in these non-millionaire families for not having this ethic, especially when we're talking about Black people. Like, we are not a lazy group of people. We've been working. We built this country. Like, this country would not exist without our labor. For free. For free. That's exactly what I think. I think people have been calling us lazy since we stopped working for free. They've been calling us lazy, but we are not lazy. It's not that we not want it bad enough. It's not that you don't have the right mindset. You could have the greatest mindset in the world. The best case scenario, if you can't beat Amazon, is that they will buy you out, and that's some people's strategy. They like, look, I just want to get this stuff off the ground so that they can come and
so Amazon can buy me out.
Yes.
So then I guess I don't think you guys understand the point that I was trying to make fully, because I wasn't. I don't think I went down the route of saying working hard enough. My point was, when we go into being an entrepreneur, you don't go into that business thinking that you're going to fail.
Oh, definitely.
You don't do that. You go into thinking that you're going to be successful, right? I think that's the point that I was trying to make, is that, and then on top of that, you have to have a definition. You have to define your own success. Because me personally, being in that 1%, that's not necessarily successful to me.
Yeah.
That might not be my goal. That might not be what I'm trying to achieve. Maybe this first 2 or 3 years, my goal is to hit maybe 300-400 grand worth of revenue a year. That's a success to me. Mm-hmm. Maybe even in the short term, in the next 6 months, if I can replace the previous salary that I walked away from, that's success to me. So I think also the thing is, I think we kind of have to look at it, and you're absolutely right, be realistic on what we can attain in the short term, but we also have to have a kind of positive mindset and understand we don't have to go out there and compete with the Rockefellers day one. You know what I mean? We may never compete with the Rockefellers. There's certain people out there who have that ambition, and they're doing that. The majority of us won't, but we have to be realistic, and we have to have a good understanding of what we feel success looks like for our own personal goals, to be able to reach them and keep ourselves positive and on that right track of being an entrepreneur.
Oh yeah, we agree with you with that. I don't think you're gonna get any kickback from that, but your comment